Scouting quarterbacks is really, really hard. God knows I've made my fair share of mistakes when evaluating the position, and plenty of NFL teams have made those exact same mistakes on those exact same players as well. But every once in a while, a quarterback comes along where the grading process is just easy. You don't even have to struggle with, justify, or talk yourself into accepting some major flaw in his game because, quite frankly, he doesn't really have any. Quarterbacks like that have almost a calming effect when watching them on tape, as if they give off this aura of confidence and control. And while this may sound like a terrible cliche, you honestly do know it when you see it. First down conversions become routine, chunk yardage plays become an eventuality, and overall the offense as a whole just starts to magically click like never before, even if it doesn't seem like the quarterback himself is doing anything new or spectacular. That's how you feel when you watch Sam Darnold on film. He is that rare, easy quarterback evaluation. It took less than 1 quarter in his first ever preseason game for me to pencil him in as the starter for week 1, and considering how fast he supplanted Josh McCown on the depth chart and made Teddy Bridgewater an expendable trade asset, I'm sure the Jets coaching staff felt the exact same way. Let's start with Darnold's first 2-minute drill as a Jet, which took place in the first week of the preseason. Offensive coordinator Jeremy Bates knew that despite Darnold being extremely young, he's also extremely smart, so he trusts him to start an empty and use a motion check to ID the defense and set himself up for an easier post-snap read. You can see as he's motioning in the running back George Atkinson into the backfield, the Falcons' will linebacker Duke Riley is shadowing him. Now, a linebacker being out there on an island with a running back is a signal for man coverage in the first place, but seeing him also shadowing the back on a motion just confirms it. So right away, Sam can be reasonably confident just based on this alignment that it's cover 2 man. Now, the play he's got on here, at least in some systems, would be referred to as X-Drive Yellow Pump Follow, and really it's meant to attack a cover 3 zone on the front side with this Y-Follow concept, referred to as Yellow Follow obviously, and Atlanta predominantly runs a cover 3 zone, so I can understand why they called this play. However, as we saw, it's not cover 3 zone, it's cover 2 man. Darnold just established that fact and read it off that motion check, so this Y-Follow is now dead. That's not going to work against man coverage because pump faking to the flat to set up a double move isn't going to fool anyone when the corner isn't actually looking at the quarterback to get pump faked in the first place. He's in man coverage, so his eyes are always going to be on that receiver. So, what does Darnold do now that his primary read, Y-Follow, is out the window before the ball is even snapped? Well, he does the same thing that any smart, veteran, in-control quarterback would do, and he progresses to the read on this play that is built in to attack man coverage. Like all other West Coast systems, Bates' offense has different concepts built in on each side of a formation that can attack different types of coverages based on whatever the quarterback identifies pre- and post-snap. In this instance, he had the Y-Follow on the front side to attack a 3-deep zone look, and he had the drive route coming from the X receiver on the backside to attack man. Drive routes are notoriously good at breaking man coverage quickly, so that is the natural outlet that is designed for this play if Darnold sees a man look, which he did. And not for one fraction of a second did you see Darnold panicking or hesitating while he progressed to that read. He knew as soon as he finished the motion check where he was going with that ball, and he placed it perfectly just in front of Charles Johnson's front shoulder so that he could easily turn upfield and run with no wasted momentum for an 8-yard gain. And I know what you're thinking, Brett, why the hell are we looking at this play? It's an 8-yard gain on first down with a throw underneath. There's nothing exciting or flashy about that at all. And that's the point. It's not flashy. It's an 8-yard gain and it's boring. He gets his offense ahead of the chains and sets them up for an easy conversion on 2nd and 3rd down, and it doesn't seem special. It seems easy. It seems routine. You never doubt for one moment that Darnold is going to complete this pass and keep his guys on schedule, and that's what makes him a special quarterback. That's what makes all of the special quarterbacks special. Moving the ball is just easy for them. And I'll do you one better. Later in that same drive, he basically threw 3 touchdowns back to back to back in the red zone, and never once did he not seem in command. Let's start with 1st and goal from the 3. Again, the Jets are an empty, and they're letting Darnold just survey the field and look for his best option, and he determines that again it's man coverage, and he's got the rub route for an easy touchdown pass. He made the right read and made a good catchable throw, but the tight end dropped it. That's TD pass number 1 taken off the board, which is unfortunate for Sam, yes, but not really the end of the world. Drops happen. 3rd and goal from the 4 now after a 1-yard loss on a 2nd down run. And again, he is processing this defense so incredibly fast for a quarterback his age. He's got a 3-by-1 on offense, but he can't quite tell what the defense is giving him yet. It looks initially like man, but it could be a zone or a combo coverage because everything is so compressed in the red zone, and it's really hard to tell sometimes just by alignment. Either way, he's got another rub route to the tight end as his primary read, and he's keying in on this nickel cornerback to tell him if it's going to be open or not. If the nickel mirrors this slot receiver in man coverage inside, then he knows he's got the rub for another easy touchdown. But if the nickel doesn't mirror inside and instead drops out to a flat zone instead, then he knows the rub won't be there and he needs to move on. After the snap, you can see Darnold's head whip right to that corner. He reads that he's dropping to the flat, so he's not in man coverage, and since he's not in man, that rub is no longer a good read. Darnold then immediately flips backside to the curl with Charles Johnson, who's isolated on Justin Bethel, and fires it in for another touchdown pass. Unfortunately, it gets called back due to a ticky-tack offensive pass interference call on Johnson, but the important thing here is just how fast Darnold recognized the zone coverage and then moved off of his primary read to the curl on the backside. There was zero hesitation on his part, and again, he just made it look easy. No panic, no happy feet, no indecision, just pure poise and command from within the pocket. On the very next snap, on 3rd and goal from the 14-yard line now, here's where we finally get to see the other element of Darnold's game beyond his quick decision making, his mobility and his accuracy on the run when things break down. Is this 3rd consecutive touchdown pass flashier than the first 2? Definitely, because everyone likes seeing quarterbacks run around and make plays off script. But what I want to show here is that Darnold is the kind of quarterback who can do both. He can make 2 easy, perfectly boring plays in a row that can get you 6 points, but when backed up against a wall and forced to go the hard route, he can do that too. I'd like to say that I see this often from all these young star quarterbacks coming into the league these days, but I really don't. Even Deshaun Watson, for as incredible a rookie year as he had, he was not processing defenses as quickly or throwing as accurately in his first game as Darnold was in his. And I don't want to hear that classic, oh well it's just preseason, these were vanilla defenses narrative either. He was carving up plenty of complex coverages and dummy coverages from starting defenses that he will most definitely see in the regular season. Take this 3rd down against Washington the very next week as an example. It's 3rd and 4 and the Skins are initially showing either 2-man or 2-zone, he can't quite tell yet, but Darnold does see the safety, DJ Swearinger, capping over the top of Robbie Anderson in the slot. So seeing that cap, that's an automatic alert that this will linebacker might be coming on a delayed pressure with man coverage on the back end. Darnold changes his protection by sliding it to the right, anticipating that blitz is coming, and he knows that if there is a blitz and Swearinger is in man coverage from about 10 yards off, he's got Anderson on the quick throw to the flat for an easy 1st down. However, this isn't a blitz and it's not man coverage. After the snap, you can see Swearinger make a beeline for that flat zone and sells out as hard as possible to take that flat away because he has that linebacker sitting inside of him to help out in zone coverage. On top of that, this boundary side corner has eyes on Darnold the entire way and he's prepared to come down and make a tackle on Anderson as well, so in just a fraction of a second, that primary read to Anderson based on the pre-snap look from the defense is now dead. They were trying to get Darnold to take that bait, but he processes this roll in coverage and identifies this zone look so quickly that he doesn't fall for it. He immediately moves on to his secondary read against a 3-deep zone, which is this backside seam route for yet another 1st down. And again, I just have to emphasize how fast he recognized this bait, progressed to the correct read, and made an accurate throw on time to move the chains. There was no hesitation, no second guessing himself, and no panic whatsoever when Washington rolled their coverage after the snap and gave him a look he probably wasn't expecting. He makes it look so simple even though this is anything but simple. There is a reason why I had Sam Darnold going 1st overall in my mock draft last April. There is a reason why he was my 2nd highest rated quarterback prospect behind only Andrew Luck in the last 8 years. And there is a reason why as soon as he was drafted by the Jets, I put New York on my short list of teams that, while maybe not actual contenders yet, nobody is going to want to play them this year. Darnold is a franchise-changing quarterback. He's a 21-year-old kid that plays like he's 30, and despite his inexperience, he is already mastering the little things at the position that really make a difference. Watching his development this season, and maybe more importantly, watching him elevate a shaky roster to play beyond their expectations, is going to be really fun to see. Again, I don't necessarily expect the Jets to make the playoffs this year, and I don't expect them to come out guns blazing and take over the AFC East immediately just because of one extremely lucky draft pick, but for the first time in a long time, there is hope for this team. Jets fans have finally, at long last, seen the light at the end of that dark, miserable tunnel, and believe me, it's brighter than any of us ever thought possible. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode, and I also want to thank MyBookie for making this week's show possible. I know a lot of you were thinking about putting some money down on games this season after the monumental Supreme Court ruling back in May, so if you want to place some bets online this year, perhaps maybe even bet on the Jets to beat their over-under of just 6 wins this season, then you're in luck because MyBookie is offering a huge 100% sign-up bonus up to $1,000 to all film room viewers when they sign up with promo code Brett at the link in the description below. Just click that, sign up, enter the promo code Brett, deposit whatever you want to deposit, and get that sweet, sweet sign-up bonus. It's a great deal, especially if you were planning on betting on some games this season anyway, so you might as well get that bonus while you still can. I am currently working on my season prediction video, which hopefully I will get out tomorrow. I know technically the season already started today, but this is like my 17th or 18th video release this month, so I'm a little bit behind, but anyway, expect that prediction video to come out as soon as I can possibly finish it. I'm working on that as hard as I can, so I will be back with that quickly, and until then, I'll see you later.